Welcome to Soccer Gaming and welcome to the channel where you can learn tips and tricks as well as guides and tutorials on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. As always, the content will help you become a better Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 player, and in today's episode we are going to be covering whether or not you should be buying Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. It's been out about a week now as far as multiplayer goes. Campaign was a couple weeks ago, and the campaign was great. I loved it, but I might have a little different opinion after the multiplayer has been out for a week. So I want to go over the pros and the cons of what you should know before you're buying Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. So if you'd like to watch that, stick around. So we're going to kind of go over the pros, we're going to go over the cons, and then we'll put them side by side and kind of look at them and break them down as far as like whether or not you should actually be buying Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 after the first week of release. You know, things can change. I'm hoping the game gets better. I'm hoping some of the bugs and stuff gets fixed, so that way we, you know, the more pros than there are cons. But this is just after a week of playing multiplayer online. So let's jump in to the pros and show you what you should be looking forward to as a positive thing jumping into Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. So the first pro for me is it is new and it is exciting. We've been kind of waiting for this game to come, and I feel like it's gotten a lot more hype than the last couple of Call of Duty games. So I feel like the fact that this is new and everyone's kind of enjoying it right now, and this is just, again, it's just new. Jump in and enjoy it. That is a pro for the game. They did a good job, at least to me, and I enjoyed the fact that they gave you the campaign a week early, kind of got you amped, got you excited, and then boom, dropped the multiplayer a week later. The next thing I want to talk to is the different play styles of play, I guess, in the game, and I like that there are plenty of different play styles. So you got the people that are running around, and on the same exact map you have people that are sniping, and it changes from game to game. And I kind of like the fact that these certain maps, as of right now at least, are played in a bunch of different ways, and you could be successful playing a bunch of different ways. It's not like, well, this map is only for snipers, so if you're not, you have to snipe or you won't be successful. Same thing, like, oh, this map is all it is running around. Like, you can't snipe, you can't use a battle rifle, can't use LMGs. Like, you pretty much just have to run and gun, kind of like a shipment type of thing. To me, there's no maps in here so far that lead me to believe that the game can only be played a certain style of map, or the map can only be played a certain style with the game. I feel like depending on how the game is played is really how everything goes, and how people are playing it is how the game is going to go as far as the style of play. The next thing is that there are plenty of modes that you can play when you're jumping into multiplayer and just doing kind of quick play. There's 9 game modes, including Team Deathmatch, Free for All, Domination, Search and Destroy, Headquarters, Kill Confirmed, Hardpoint, Prison, Rescuer, and Knockout. And those are just kind of the multiplayer onlines that are like the party size of 1 to 6. Free for All being the only one that is only you can jump in with Free for All. The rest of them are party size 1 through 6. Now, there are other things that you could play, which I actually enjoy. It makes multiplayer fun. There is the third-person mosh pit on multiplayer, and then there's the prison rescuer there as well. Then if we drop down to the multiplayer, you could play ground war, invasion, and then you could do like private match, and you can do co-op, which I really actually enjoyed the co-op missions. I thought they were a lot of fun doing them with your friends, and we'll learn a little bit later on, you can get some pretty good weapon XP on weapons that you either don't have or haven't unlocked yet, and you can kind of get XP in there. But I like the fact that they have ground war, they have invasion, they have cooperative play, then they got a whole bunch of quick play. They got third person mosh pit, prisoner rescue, and then we jump into the team deathmatch, domination, search and destroy, headquarters, Hardpoint, all of those. There's just so many different game types to play, and I really think that is a pro to on release. The fact that you can kind of find out what you like and what your jam is, and be able to kind of perfect it. Because starting out, we used to play team deathmatch all the time. In this game, we just can't play it very well. We don't get good kill deaths. We don't win a bunch of games. So it's something that we kind of turned off, and we play more of like a domination hardpoint type of thing, and we found more success in there doing that as well. The next thing I want to talk about is gameplay. Currently, gameplay I feel like is pretty smooth, as far as like to me there's not a lot of jitters. There's not a lot of problems with gameplay necessarily. Not a bunch of like glitching through walls and doors and stuff like that. I feel like the ones that they've kind of had as far as kind of being glitchy is stuff like when you die in between the death screen and your replay, you could actually before ping a player, and then that player would show up the whole game. You could see them through walls and everything, but they pretty much took that out of the game right now until they could fix it. So something like that, good thing that they're trying to fix that, because it kind of ruined the games. But other than those few hiccups, I feel like the gameplay is decently smooth, and people sliding and jumping and stuff like that. I felt like so far the gameplay is good. Another thing I enjoyed, and as a pro of this game, is the matchmaking, putting you into the next game very quickly. So you got a bunch of quick games, and you kind of just keep grinding through. It's not like, oh, they just finished a game. It took, 8 minutes, and now we're going to sit here for 2 minutes and wait for our next game. It's literally, okay, we finished this game in 8 minutes. We got about 30 seconds, and then boom, we're right back into the next one and playing another game. And I like that, well, so far, everyone in the party, gets brought through. There's no problems with people dropping. So yeah, I like the fact that the matchmaking right in quick, probably 30 seconds in between games. So if you're wanting to change custom classes or whatever, you can always back out. But I love that they can just keep slinging you in games. It keeps the games going. It makes you kind of feel like, hey, boom, the game's over. I played bad. It is what it is. Let's move on. Okay, next game started. Let's keep going. The next thing I want to talk about is the fun co-op missions that can help you level your weapons, or level weapons that you don't have yet. So one of the big things is co-op, and currently I believe there's 3 co-op missions out. There's low profile, denied area, and defender, and you can get XP in these, as far as they all have their own objectives. So each daily challenge, you get a brand new daily challenge for them, as well as a multiplayer. So yeah, you can get multiplayer extra XP, and you can get cooperative XP as well. And then another big thing about the cooperative that I like is you can level up weapons that you might not use in multiplayer, because you're just not that type of player. Like if you're a kind of a run and the gun person, you're probably not going to use a lot of snipers or battle rifles or even LMGs. So those you're going to have to try to unlock somehow, and cooperative is a place you could do it if they have those certain weapons available, or certain weapons that you can't get into it. But I go in the co-op, and I believe it was low profile, and you basically can use a pistol the whole time and run around the map and get a bunch of pistol kills against AI bots. And it's nice because you get pistol kills are hard to get in multiplayer. It's hard to get up that close and personal and get pistol kills. So to be able to get them in a cooperative where you're doing it with a friend or even by yourself, it's a great place to get pistol kills or kills with weapons that you probably would not be using in multiplayer. And then the last thing I have in my pros category after 1 week of playing is being able to filter the different game types, and so that it's not so stagnant. So when you jump into quick play here, you could click filter in the bottom left, and you can then select what ones you want. You could select multiple, you could select them all, you could select just one, however you want to do it. But you got to obviously pick just at least one, but you can pick what you want to be playing. So if you're like, well, I want to play team deathmatch, like we could play Dom, we could play headquarters, we could play hardpoint, you can select all 4 of those, and it will get you in to the quickest match possible after each game. So you might play team deathmatch, and the very next game you play hardpoint, and then the very next game after that you play search and destroy if you have it selected, and then back to hardpoint, and then back to dom, and then a couple of team deathmatch games. It just kind of keeps it going, and I actually really enjoy that because I don't always want to just set in team deathmatch, play the same lobby over and over and over again, and team deathmatch. And sometimes you just need a bit of change. So a couple team deathmatch games, and yeah, you know what? I'm ready for dom. Let's do that for a couple games. So I like that about the game, and it's definitely a pro. So now we're going to cover the cons of the game and what I feel like could get better. And the first thing we have to address is the bugs and errors on this game. So starting off the very first night, had a bunch of bugs and errors, some of them that we're working on, but the biggest one I had, it like basically kicks me out of the game when trying to join a game, and basically said like your files are messed up. So what I ended up doing is I went online and tried a whole bunch of different things to do it, and I could not get it fixed. So basically the first night of me playing, I was online for probably 6 hours. I played maybe a total of 3 or 4 games, which is just frustrating. To play 3 or 4 games in 4 or 5 hours is just frustrating. Makes you not want to play. But basically what I did is I ended up uninstalling the game completely and completely reinstalling it. And since then, I have not seen that error since then. So I'm not sure if I had corrupt game files or what was going on, but it was very, very annoying. And there's several bugs out that they're trying to get fixed, like the bug that you could ping people or ping enemies when you were dying, and then that would show for the rest of the map for your whole team, so you could see them through walls and understand where they're coming from and stuff like that. The bugs and errors they are working on fixing and getting some patches out to fix those. There's also the problem with the weapons, that once you get to the max level where you could kind of move the sliders around and get the perfect gun, I believe they call it fine tuning, and they had to take that out because it wasn't working properly, but it does sound like it will be back in the game soon. So again, another bug that they are working on fixing. The next con for me is if you are a PC player, you are at a major disadvantage. As a PC player, you do not have auto aim assist, so as you get close to the player, it doesn't kind of lock onto them so that you can get better shots. Basically, you're on your own, and it does seem like Xbox and PlayStation players get that little bit of help, and that little bit of help is kind of what is making the difference in this game. For some reason, I've watched a ton of PC players, and all of them are struggling as far as not necessarily like killing people, but it's like the kill death and losing battles that they don't normally lose. And I've found that PlayStation and Xbox players, or if you're using a controller on PC, you are getting those kills because you have that auto aim assist locked on. So if you're a PC player that's playing mouse and keyboard, just know you're going to be at a major disadvantage, at least starting out. Maybe later on they'll tweak some things and things will get changed, and you'll stand a better chance, or maybe you'll just get used to it and understand how to play it and beat the aim assist that the controller players get. The next big con for me is the gun progression. The gun progression is awful in this game. I feel like I'm not sure what they were doing when they were coming up with the way they did the progression. So the way the gun progression works is, say you want a certain gun, it's locked, but in order to get it, you have to get another weapon all the way up to max level. Then you unlocked a new gun from that old weapon. So you have weapon A, you get it all the way up to 20, let's say level 20, and then you unlock weapon B, and then you have to get weapon B to level 15, which is max, before you can unlock a weapon C. And so in order to get weapon C, you can't ever use it until you unlock weapon A and weapon B and get them maxed out. So it's a little confusing, it's a little annoying. I like the fact that it's like, well, but if I just play and get to level 52 or whatever, then I unlock this gun and I get to use it. It does not work in that way in this game. And I just feel like you're forcing people to use weapons that they don't like using or can't really use very well. And by doing that, you're basically kind of deterring them from using weapons they want to use, and honestly even playing certain game types or certain games because they can't get the weapon they want, because they have to use a weapon they can't use. If you have to use a sniper or a battle rifle and you don't know how to use them, you're never going to get them max level. So it's just frustrating that you have to go through that in order to get a gun that you want and that you like. Just basically the gun progression is broken in the game. I like that before it was just like, hey, once you get to 52, you unlock the AK-47. You can use it, but you have to get to level 52 first. And I felt like that was really good at getting people the weapons that they wanted and being able to use the weapons they wanted. I believe that did a good job in the earlier games, and in this game, I feel like they really missed the mark. The next thing to go over is the con is the stats are just horrible. So once you finish a game like Dom, I know domination or whatever is about getting the points and defending them and everything, but the fact that they have how many deaths you have and then your kill death next to it, but they never tell you how many kills you got, it's just annoying to me. It's not like there's no space on the screen. It's basically just laziness of not putting the kills in there. Like, this game is based on a kill death. Like, if you're gonna give me the kill death, then give me the kills give me the kills and give me the deaths before you give me just the deaths and the kill deaths, because then you got to look at, well, I don't know what that is. I have to multiply this number to do this number to see how many kills I actually had. It's just not a good way that they did it. A lot of the stats are kind of not even really needed in there. Like, I like to know how many offensive medals I got or whatever for trying to get the point and defending the point and stuff like that. But then they got like other stuff that's just not really good, not really useful, and then they leave out how many kills you had in the game. So I would just like them to kind of fix the stats as far as that goes. And then, like, right now they currently don't have barracks. You don't know what your global kill death is or anything like that because they don't have a barracks added in. You don't know any of that stuff, and I'm not a huge fan of how they did the stats and the fact that they didn't even have the barracks out when the game was released. It just is annoying and frustrating, especially if you like to look at that type of stuff to try to get better or try to understand your kill death and stuff and your kill death with certain weapons. That stuff is useful, and they just basically don't have it in the game yet. The next thing is they say they have skill-based matchmaking, but I beg to differ that it actually works correctly, because we've played many games, and it just doesn't seem that we are getting matched with people that are at the same level as us on keyboard and mouse. I found that we play a bunch of gods. Like, they're just gods everywhere in this game, and I don't know if it's because they're on PlayStation or Xbox, or if they're using a lot of people are using controller on PC, but like the mouse and keyboard warriors that we play are just godly too. It's hard to run it. We rarely run into players that are the same skill as us on keyboard and mouse, and I feel like they're supposed to be in there. The whole reason of skill-based matchmaking is so that you get matched up with players that are close to your same skill, and I just feel like we don't see those players. Every game we're basically around the 1.5 mark, and that we don't ever really get players that are like 0.48 kill death. No, we're getting players that are like 5s and 3s, and it's like, why are these people in our game, and why are they so good? Why are they playing with us if we can't kill them, and we're having games where we're getting like a 0.22 kill death? I don't see the skill-based matchmaking there. They say they have it, and I'm sure they do, but it doesn't just seem like we actually feel that yet. And we've played a bunch of matches now, being a week in to multiplayer. We've played over hundreds of matches, and the skill-based matchmaking doesn't seem to be working, or at least be working the way that I would like to see it used. And then the last thing was something I kind of covered before in the stats, and that's that they didn't even have barracks at launch. And to me, that's a big opportunity and a big loss for them as far as getting new players to enjoy the game and understand it. The barracks can give you information like your kill death with certain weapons, so you kind of understand, oh wow, yeah, this LMG, I didn't even realize that I liked it, but I have a 2.2 kill death compared to the LMG that I feel like I enjoy, and I got a 0.75. So if it's like, well, I want my kill death to be higher, let's use this LMG instead of this one because I actually do better with it as far as stats go and stuff like that. Headshots, okay, how many headshots am I getting compared to how many kills? You know, do I need to aim more at their head or chest, or you know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff in the barracks that you can use as far as stats go to kind of learn about yourself and learn how to get better. And they just basically, there's no barracks in it. We have no idea what our kill death is. We have no idea what our kill death is in Dom or Team Deathmatch or anything like that. Basically just going basically by each match and being like, oh, you had to kill death this match, okay, the next game you had to kill death this, next game this. And it's just really frustrating that something so simple like the barracks that was in the beta is not in the full game on release. I don't know, I haven't heard anything about when they are going to release it, so that kind of makes it even worse, is the fact that we have no idea if it's going to be coming in and when it's going to be coming in. So I gave you my pros, I gave you my cons, and I'm trying to help you make a decision on whether or not you want to spend $60 or $100 depending on which one you want, which version you want, if it's worth it. And I gotta be honest with you, I am wanting it to be good, but currently it's not good. Like, there's so many things that, to me, if I come into this game and I'm like looking at this breakdown and I see a bunch of cons that are kind of deal breakers, I'm not buying this game yet until either they add it or they fix it. The pros, the fact that I had to put that it's new and exciting, and that's why right now I'm currently playing it, is because I'm like, I keep thinking it's going to get better. We're going to get barracks in. We're going to be doing this stuff, that stuff. They're going to fix the weapon progression so that I can actually use weapons I want to use. And I think it's hopeful, and I don't know if it's ever going to happen. But honestly, if I was coming into the game now, I would not spend $60 on the game. It's not in a place right now where I would enjoy playing for $60. I feel like an obligation, especially since we're making content on the game. I feel like I'm in an obligation to play the game and try to enjoy it. But there are nights where it's just impossible to enjoy this game, with bugs, with errors, with not being able to get the guns you want, with the skill-based matchmaking and getting into games where in domination you have a 0.22 kill death and you died 14 times. Like, there's just it's tough. It's really, really tough. And unless you're like a god at the game and just enjoying just obliterating people and skill-based matchmaking, then this game is probably something you shouldn't buy for $60 yet. Now, the campaign I think was really, really good. I enjoyed the campaign. That's probably a pro I didn't add, but the campaign is good. I enjoyed the campaign. I feel like they did a good job bringing it out a week before, kind of getting everyone hyped for multiplayer. And then I feel like kind of multiplayer has really dropped the ball as far as this has gone so far a week into the game. So as always, I read every single comment on every single video. So if you have any questions, or if you want to tell me what you think of the game, comment them down below. I love to read what you guys are feeling about this game, and whether you feel like, hey, you know what, I spent $60, it's worth it, or hey, I spent $60 and I would not spend another single dollar on this game and I wish I could return it for $60 because it is not good. Comment that stuff down below. I'd love to read all of your answers and all of your questions. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them as quickly as possible. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Also, feel free to hit the red subscribe button, because this channel is going to be going towards Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 content very soon. So there's going to be a bunch of content coming out that will hopefully be helpful for you. So if you're still trying to learn, or if you want the ins and outs of certain things, of how to get weapon XP faster and stuff like that, make sure you hit the red subscribe button. Till next time, Slacker out.